What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Branded Dude here. This is a replay of me going up against Ryzeal Mitsurugi, but I first wanted to start off with showing you a deck list that I am going to be running for some time, as well as for this matchup as well, the replay that I'm going to show you. So I know that a lot of you guys, obviously depending on your playing style, whether you guys play grass or 60 card, whether you want to play the grass or you don't want to play grass, and whether you want to play 60 cards or you want to play between 40 to 50, just so that you increase your chance for consistency. But I just wanted to start with showing this deck list first. This is one where there's no grass. It's simply just going to be, I guess you could say, engine with quite a high bestial count, and just I guess let me say hand trap / board breakers being droplet, super poly, and I am main decking full loss here. Side deck there is draw as a hand trap there, just in case we go up against Mermail and any other deck that does a lot of searching. Chaos Hunter against Malice, 2 artifact Lanciers because we have the one artifact Sanctum. We got board breakers, harpies, and then different dimension ground and D-Barry as thrust targets. And then in the extra deck it's still basically the same. No Chimera, instead we have Burrow of Furious, 1 Mirror Jade because I decided to add in the Despia and Lulu Lilith as another target for Grand Gugnol. So yeah, this is just testing. The extra deck is a bit testing, but this is the 60 card deck list I'm running. Yeah, I know some people are more what's the word I'm looking for? They're more set on playing a lower deck count when it comes to branded. Me, listen, trying to play between 40 to 50. Honestly, sure, it is good. Consistency is a little high, but honestly, I feel like there's so many cards that I want to play, not because I just want to play everything, but because just need to play it because it's what I want to play going up against the current meta. So yeah, the reason why I'm playing a high bestial count is obviously in terms of like the top decks. We obviously have Ryzeal, Malice. Obviously, depending on the variants, you get Malice Fiendsmith now. There's also Malice Fiendsmith Bestial. Then you get Ryzeal Mitsurugi. I'm not sure if Ryzeal Shark counts as well because Toad is banned. But whatever the case is, I think Bestials is really good as a hand trap, just interrupting your opponent's graveyard depending on your matchup, obviously. But this matchup, yeah, I decided before this replay where I went up against Ryzeal Mitsurugi, I decided to increase the bestial count, and you'll see that the bestials actually came up quite a bit in this matchup. But yeah, this is the deck list here. Main decking full loss. I have been thinking of main decking maybe Perulia or Mules as well, because to be honest, just not relying on this. There are quite a lot of decks, not just Malice, where where they summon a lot from the graveyard. As also, I was thinking maybe of main decking another set of full loss, but I did mention in my previous video where maybe we could play a little more hand traps in branded, this format. But yeah, anyways, this is the deck list here, so let me hop on straight into the duel. Alright guys, so here in this duel we are playing the deck list that I did show in the beginning of this video. We are going first, and you'll see that in our opening hands we open full loss, lost, Jerusalem, banishment, and white. This is a completely dead hand here, and our opponent opens Mitsurugi Ritual, Ice, the Ame, X, as well as 7th Ascension. Yeah, so yeah, he's playing the Tachyon package with it, Ryzeal Mitsurugi, and also he opens both engines for the Mitsurugi and Ryzeal. I'm not sure on whether this deck list has a lot of space for hand traps as well, because 7th Ascension is there, most probably playing 3 Tachyons as well. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, as you can see, we do end up bricking, so I simply just decide to completely just pass my turn. I don't bother to set because we need full loss to be active. So pass turn, opponent draws into the Mitsurugi prayer, so that was a good draw for him. So main phase, he activates the rituals, so he's going to summon from hand Ame, tributing both the Night Sword Serpent as well as Kusanagi, and then on res is going to be Chainlink 1 Kusanagi, Chainlink 2 Serpent, just to reborn itself. So Kusanagi is going to add back ritual to hand. Honestly, the fact that Mitsurugi cards can just add back these spells is really annoying. But moving on, our opponent then special summons X by sending Dio Drive to the graveyard, and then on res I decide to drop the 4 loss just before he commits to special summoning from the extra deck, and maybe summons another Ryzeal from hand. You know, just the whole point is just allowing me to draw or 4 loss. So here are 2 4 loss. My opponent does chain army, forcing us to either discard or not. So we do discard. We discard Branded and White here. Maybe I should have discarded the trap instead, because you know it is a trap card. It's not going to do anything in our hand. So yeah, I should have kept White in hand, but anyways, moving on. So yeah, 4 loss is still going to be live. Opponent overlays to go into Dio Drive, which gives us a draw. We draw into Serenia. Dio Drive effect to attach. He's going to attach the other copy of Dio Drive. He enters battle phase, so he is going to deal quite a bit of damage. Dio Drive is boosting his monsters by 300 attack points as well. So yeah, drops us to 1700. Still in the battle phase, he activates Mitsurugi Prayers, where he will add Saji from deck to hand and then special summon it. On resolution, he's going to go Chainlink 1 Arme, basically to reborn itself. And then what else does it? It will reborn itself, and you can add 1 Mitsurugi card from deck to hand. So add and then reborn itself, Chainlink 2 Saji, which will basically add a Mitsurugi spell or trap from deck to hand. So, and then to this, I decide, okay, we're going to go Jerusalem, targeting the Arme to banish it, so that it doesn't end up coming back to the field, because he was trying to go for game here. So we dodge that. Sorry, we prevent that. So he adds Prayers to hand, and he's also going to add Futsu from deck to hand as well. Moving on, goes to main phase 2, goes Dio Drive effect to searches for node, and he will also search for the field spell. Because he's also under 4 loss, he's not going to do too much here. Now here he activated Ryzeal Cross, using the effect to draw. I decide to go Serenia effect, trying to see if we can maybe bait out, you know, this extra, the field spell to force out this one card that is attached to Dio Drive. So we just chained Serenia there, targeting the X Ryzeal. Honestly, the bestials, when it comes to against Ryzeal Mitsurugi, the bestials is most important when it comes to having to deal with the Mitsurugi engine, because being able to banish, you know, the rituals, and mainly the rituals, because they always play 2 copies of Futsu and 2 copies of Ame. Just trying to get rid of the rituals through your bestials is just going to help you in the long run when going up against this deck. But yeah, uses the field spell, shuffles back 1 and draws into DD Crow. So yeah, he is main decking DD Crow. He sets the Mitsurugi Prayers and passes turn. So yeah, we draw for turn, we draw into Super Poly, which gives us the ability to perform a fusion. So we start off with Lost. Here I thought my opponent maybe was going to like activate Prayers or anything, but he doesn't do anything. So we follow up with Super Poly, using both our monsters to go into Chaos Star Source. So here you'll see that we go Chainlink 1 Chaos, targeting the field spell and the set. Chainlink 2 Druid, targeting Dio Drive to send. Chainlink 3 Serenia, and Chainlink 4 Lost. Now here, this order of Chainlink was actually very wrong, because the field spell can still negate on resolution. So I should have went everything else, and then the Chainlink 4 should have been Chaos Star Source, targeting the field spell and this. So that's why it forces him to either negate with Chaos Star Source so that the field spell stays on the field, or he allows it to be destroyed. So honestly, this was not a good idea, because now what happens is, the whole plan here is Serenia will send Retribution, Lost will add I'll be on the Shrouded, you know, so that's why we'll be able to add Branded Fusion through the graveyard play. But obviously, yeah, opponent does have DD Crow in his hand, so he still will be able to prevent that. But yeah, honestly, we didn't if we didn't expect we wouldn't know our opponent is playing DD Crow, sorry. So yeah, that should have been a better order of chain links here. So anyways, as it resolves, we add Shrouded. Here my opponent does tell me that he's going to negate Serenia with Cross, and then we pop both the spells on his field, and Dio Drive leaves the field. Now here, unfortunately, we just got Albi on the Shrouded. Here I decide to send Retribution just so that it's in the graveyard, and we join to Bestial Rebellion, which allows us to just, I guess, do a little bit more plays. So we go Rebellion, searching for Magnemite. Magnemite here is going to end up targeting his Kusanagi in his graveyard, so we summon Mag effect here will get the Search Tribute, summon Lubellion, and then we're going to go Lubellion to place Branded Regained. We enter battle phase just to deal some damage. So yeah, we're going to deal some damage here, put him at 3200. Go to end phase, add the Jerusalem from grave to hand, because we're only playing, obviously Jerusalem is limited to 1. So pass turn, opponent draws into 7th Tachyon. So moving on, he goes to main phase. Now here he's going to activate the Prayers, where he's going to tribute Futsu to summon a second copy of Ame from deck. On res, it will be Chainlink 1 Futsu, Chainlink 2 Ame, So he's going to blow up our field, and Futsu is going to add a spell, and then I believe it will reborn itself. No, does it not reborn itself? When this card is tributed, you can add one Mitsurugi, accept this, then you can special summon this card. Okay, so he didn't special summon it. Oh well. Moving on, he normal summons Ice, Chainlink 1 Ice, Chainlink 2 Regained. We're going to target Mag, and then he's going to go DD Crow on Mag, unfortunately. So we just chain Retribution here because remember, Ame is on the field, and if you're going to activate any effects, we need to discard a card in order for it to resolve. So if I activate Duraswim and he changed Ame, I don't have anything else to discard, so Duraswim won't resolve. So that's why we go Retribution, add Branded White for that discard purpose. Moving on, summon Sword, and then Chainlink to Regain, shuffling back Magnemite to get a draw, hoping to draw into a Bestial so that we can summon more bodies. And luckily for us, yes, we do get Boldrake. Opponent then searches for Extorf Sword. Before he commits to overlaying, we decide to go Duraswim, targeting his Futsu. Doesn't chain anything yet, then we just chain Boldrake, targeting his Saji, just to get rid of those Mitsurugi monsters in grade. But to this, he is going to go Chainlink 3 Ame, so we discard the Branded White, totally fine. Summon both, so now if he overlays, Boldrake can trigger, and then when Duraswim sent to grave, he can target a special summon and, you know, just getting rid of 2 bodies on the field basically. Opponent then overlays into Detonator, Chainlink 1 Detonator to attach. We go Chainlink to Boldrake, tributing Duraswim to banish targeted Detonator. Then my opponent then goes Chainlink 4 Detonator to pop Boldrake, opening our field unfortunately. So we banish the Detonator, and then on res we go Duraswim, hoping that we're able to get rid of Ame. But unfortunately, yeah, he does have the prayers in his hand, which we did see him add back. Or sorry, not add back, he did add it to his hand. So yeah, unfortunately, you know, we had to do what we could. So he tributes the basically prayers is he's going to tribute the one reptile, and then he can add from deck to hand, or and then special summon a Mitsurugi monster from hand or grave. So yeah, he basically is going to summon the that's the thing, he's activated this, so he tributes. You can apply both. Oh yeah, he can apply one of the effects. So yeah, he tributed the Ame, and then he's going to reborn this Mitsurugi monster. So anyways, he normal summons, no sorry, special summons Node, and that's when I decide, yeah, it's game. So I just live in game. So Mitsurugi player, Ryzeal Mitsurugi does take game number 1. Moving on to game number 2, you see we open Tragedy, Spirits, Deployment, Aluba, and Thrust. Opponent opens 7 Tachyon, Ascension, DD, Infinite, and Droplet. So we are going first. We started with Deployment to summon Cartesia. Then we normal summon Aluba, searching for Brand of Fusion. Luckily, no Ash, so we are going to add Brand of Fusion. Brand of Fusion, send Albaz and Lubellion to go into Albion. Albion Effecture, going to Lubellion, discard High Spirits because we're going to be able to add it to hand. And if we go Cartesia, we can use Tragedy as fusion material. And then going to Mergeade here, yeah, we tribute Albion to summon Lubellion, but on res opponent does drop the imperm before we can use the ignition effect of Lubellion. So yeah, that gets negated. We then go Cartesia, going to Grand Gugno using Tragedy. So here we'll be Chainlink 1 Grand Gugno, Chainlink 2 Tragedy, just to get an extra card in our hand. So we add Ad Libitum to hand, and then we send Titanic Clad off Grand Gugno. So here we set this as a bluff because I was hoping my opponent would activate something. So we just go end of main. Here my opponent does drop the DD Crow, where he's going to banish the Titanic Clad, which is totally fine because now Thrust is alive. So we go Thrust, and here we will set the barrier. Go to end phase because we have nothing else. Albion Effecture will set Brand of Banishment. And we are going to add Cartesia as well as High Spirits to our hand, so we have more fallout for next turn. So now, moving on. Opponent draws for turn, he draws into Mitsurugi. The Saji, and then in draw phase we go Banishment. So yeah, go straight into Lad. Now here's the thing, my opponent, even if he doesn't do anything, the whole point is he has Droplet to negate Lad, but we do have D barrier. So if he, let's say, normal summon Saji effect, we chain this, he can just go Droplet, maybe send Saji itself to negate that, but then we just have D barrier to stop him. But yeah, this is apparently enough to make my opponent scoop. I'm not sure, I think he could have done a bit more there, I'm not sure guys, but I think he could have actually attempted to play through that, but he doesn't. So yeah, we go to game number 3. Now opening hands, you'll see we open Full Loss, Shrouded, Kit, Brand of Fusion, and opening. Opponent opens Imperm, Prayers, Ash, Ritual, and Kusanagi. So he's going first. We don't drop the 4 loss too early yet. In draw phase, he goes Prayers, tributing Kusanagi to add Ame, and he's going to not special summon Ame, but special summon Kusanagi from grave. Chainlink 1 Kusanagi to add back Prayers from grave to hand. Main phase, here he's going to activate Ritual, to which we will drop 4 loss. Opponent here was contemplating whether to drop Ash, but he decides not to because he's not going to special summon too much, because he has 2 hand traps and he has Ame, and basically now he's going to be able to add the Mitsurugi trap card off Futsu. So yeah, he will have a decent number of interruptions here. So he sets the trap, sets the prayer, sets imperm, and passes. So he has Ame, which will force a discard. He has imperm, he has purification, which is insane, negate, prayers, and he has Ash Blossom, which is totally enough for him to pass on. So yeah, we draw for turn and we draw into Branded Lost. Go to main phase. So unfortunately, yeah, we have to force out these negates somehow. So first we start off with Shrouded, where we'll send Retribution, and here opponent chains Ame, so we discard Branded Opening because we have Retribution in graveyard, so we can add Opening back to hand, and we join to Bestial Rebellion. So here I decide, okay, if we can try get Jerusalem, we can force hopefully something, but we all know that we saw our opponent did add the Prayers to hand, so honestly the Bestials are not going to help us here, because remember, Purification needs to tribute a level 5 or higher Reptile. So honestly we need to stop these Ryzeal Mitsurugi rituals from being on the field. So that was the plan here, but we know he has Prayer, so it's not going to help us here. Add Jerusalem, go Retribution to add Opening. Go Opening first because we want to put a Dark Monster in the grave. We're not going to try go Jerusalem, banish this, because he's just going to chain the Prayers, which will reborn Futsu from the graveyard. So we want Jerusalem to be able to hit the field, so that's why we go this line. Summon a Luba. You go for Quem. The reason why is because I know for a fact one of these cards is an imperm, so we want Quem to send Mercuria, so that's why, you know, Jerusalem has a better target to banish. And honestly, like, we already have these 2 cards in hand, so listen, may as well just let Quem, hoping that it does resolve, but it doesn't, gets negated by imperm. Then go Jerusalem, banish Kit to summon itself, and then here nothing there, so we summon Rebellion on res, chainlink 1 Jerusalem, targeting the Ame, to which our opponent will chain Prayers, unfortunately. So he's going to tribute Ame at Saji, and he's going to reborn Ame from the graveyard, which will basically now go by Geki our board. So here, unfortunately, we have nothing more to do, so we just go Lost, and then I go Brand Fusion, and my opponent had the Ash Blossom. So yeah, past turn, nothing to do. Draws into 7 Tachyon, summons Saji to add Prayers, and honestly, you know, it's an open field, and now he overlays into Duo Drive, and I just seen enough, and I just simply scooped there. Yeah, he's going to get too much follow up there, and we're simply not going to have anything to do here because he still has Purification. So yeah, unfortunately we do end up losing this one, but yeah, that is the duel with this new build. Honestly, the Bestials against Mitsurugi is pretty good for us. Honestly, it's pretty good if you can just banish them from the graveyard. You won't have to worry about it, but you just need to know that they do play 2 of each Mitsurugi rituals. So yeah, you did see there with Detonate at 1, Boldrake did come in clutch there with banishing it, but yeah, unfortunately he did end up winning game number 1 still anyways, because he had enough damage on board. But yeah, the Bestials honestly pretty good against the Ryzeal Mitsurugi. But yeah, that was the duel, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry, there were, as you did see, I think it was game number 1? Yeah, game number 1, where we had that fusion summon of Chaos Star Source. The order of change there was wrong, so guys, do learn from my mistake there. Rather keep the Chaos Star Source pop effect as the highest chain link, so you know the field spell is forced to either be used or get destroyed, so everything else can resolve. But yeah, guys, that was a duel. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.